Yes, and welcome back to our new show. We're back on See the Ramadan Stories. Now, Chrissy and I are already so comfortable here because we have something really special for you. How was your sleep last night?
As always, not very good because I have trouble sleeping at night, every night.
So you have trouble falling asleep or just
Falling asleep.
the time, like really late?
Both.
Both. Okay.
It's so hard for me to fall asleep or even to feel sleepy.
Wow. I wish I'm not feeling sleepy right now. But talking about sleep, I know an expert who knows the answer to all of your problems. We have him here today, and here is the profile before we introduce the one and only Vishal Dasani. Let's take a look. Vishal Dasani, a sleep educator, began prioritizing sleep when he started experiencing negative things due to his messy sleep schedules. Now, starting from insomnia, drastic weight gain, severe mood swings to injuries due to exercising too strictly.
He also made a book called Sleep Healing. This book provides a basic understanding of natural sleep patterns along with easy ways to have them. Believe it, enough sleep will make things easier, and quality sleep can increase productivity.
And here we have Vishal Dasani in the studio. Now, during Ramadan, our sleeping time will adapt to the sahur, right?
Right.
So it's for me, it's like already when we're doing the morning show, I have to sleep by 9 p.m. If not, I won't be awake enough to actually do the morning show by 6 a.m. in the morning. But to learn more about quality of sleep during Ramadan, we'll have a talk with Coach Vishal Dasani. He's already with us right here as sleep educator and consultant. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hello.
I'm really excited because we had you in the morning show, and I was asking our hosts, and I was like, what was talked about, and it was like Chrissy said, a calling to the universe to have you in the afternoon as well.
Thank you very much.
Here's the problem. Ramadan makes us change our sleep patterns a little bit, right? How do we adapt, and what are the effects to changes in sleep patterns?
So, number one, we need to understand that our sleep relies on a pattern or consistency of a pattern, which is called circadian rhythm. So everyone has circadian rhythm, and that circadian rhythm tells us when to sleep and when to be awake and do our activities. So during Ramadan, that pattern, that routine change.
Yeah.
It changes. It's not like how we normally function. Okay, so in order to adapt to the new pattern, our sleep is going to get an impact, because it's not going to be only our sleep, but our eating pattern is going to change, our exercising pattern is going to change, our working pattern is going to change, and overall it's going to impact how we sleep or our sleeping pattern.
I see. But what about if someone prefers to not sleep until sahur because they're afraid that they're going to be late for sahur, so they chose to stay awake instead? How will it affect the body?
So actually our body is designed to sleep at night and to function during the day. So when we actually switch that schedule, slowly but surely we are going to feel the impact in terms of our health, our appetite, our mood, our cognitive function, our learning ability, our ability to focus, our ability to work, our ability to make snappy decisions. It all takes a hit. Maybe you may not feel it the first few days, but eventually if you keep that pattern, you will not be able to function your best.
That's scary.
But how can we maintain our sleep quality, and how can it be improved during Ramadan if we know that for this 1 month our patterns are going to change? How can we adapt to that?
Okay, so when we talk about sleep health, we talk about 4 parameters. We cannot just see sleep from the aspect of as long as I get my X hours, then it's considered a good sleep. Okay, so when we talk about sleep health, we talk about the consistency of the schedule, and then the duration. Are we getting enough?
Okay.
Number 3 is the quality, and number 4 is the continuity. So during Ramadan, what's going to happen is, yes, our sleep will reduce. To a certain extent, it will reduce. Normally, for an adult, The optimal sleep time is between 7 to 9 hours.
7 to 9 hours, not 5 to 6.
No.
It's not optimal.
Okay.
Right.
It's not optimal.
So that's why I cannot function if I sleep less than 8 hours.
Well, it's challenging with kids, isn't it?
My kids are already 6 years old, so I don't breastfeed anymore. So
Well, mine still
It's
wakes
easier
up
for
at
me.
like 3 to 4 for like a bottle. So. But we have something behind you right here on the big screen.
Yeah.
You brought something for us, a short-term strategy during Ramadan,
Yes.
if you want to explain to us what we have.
So in this slide, actually what I want to show that there are 3 sleeping patterns that is discussed in the sleep science literature. Number 1 is called the monophasic sleep pattern, in which you sleep once in a cycle of 24 hours. That's the common sleeping pattern that most of us adopt.
yeah.
Okay. Number 2 is called the biphasic sleeping pattern, in which you sleep twice in a cycle of 24 hours.
Okay.
Your big block of sleep, which is around 6 hours, happens at night. And then you allocate around 1 hour to 90 minutes during the afternoon for a short nap. So you break it down into 2.
Okay. But can an afternoon nap replace the night sleep? No. So that's
Cannot.
why you divide the portion to be like that.
Actually, it's not me who divided.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. But again, what they say is you can divide your sleep, providing the big chunk
Right.
still happens at night.
Still happens at night.
Yes.
Right.
So my my question is, for instance, my husband. And I'm going to skip a couple of questions ahead because my husband, he works sometimes night shifts, right? So
Yeah.
for people who have to work night shifts and sleep during the day, when you just mentioned that optimally we human beings have to sleep at night,
Yeah.
how does that go?
So the thing is, yes, we need people who work shifts because we need doctors, we need nurses, we need firefighters, and so on. So for them, it's a bit of a challenge because their schedule, their work schedule may not match with their internal schedule. So what I normally advise them is, let's minimize the risk. Let's try what we can to still optimize how much ever sleep we can get. Sleeping in the morning, afternoon cannot replace in terms of quality when compared to nighttime sleeping, but at least we can do a lot to mitigate the negative side effects.
Oh, I see. Let's get back into our theme, which is Ramadan.
Yes.
And we all know that some people, after they ate sahur,
Yeah.
they go back to sleep.
Yes.
Right? Do you recommend that? Or perhaps you recommend something else? Let's say wait for the food to be digested first before going back to sleep.
From the perspective of comfort and digestion system, yes, I would say that after your pre-dawn meal or your sahur, please try to not sleep because your food is still being digested.
Okay.
So take some time, maybe after your morning prayers, or let's say 90 minutes to 2 hours after your sahur, then you take a, let's say a nap. I wouldn't say it's sleep, but yeah, nap. You can still do it. Because some people have told me that the moment they sleep after sahur, they feel uneasy in the stomach.
Bloated,
Yes, the reflux, the indigestion, and the uneasiness kicks in.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now, what are the parameters of a good sleep or healthy sleep?
Okay.
How do we know if we're getting a
Okay.
healthy one?
Number 1, as I mentioned before already, that there are 4 parameters. Number 1 is your schedule needs to be somewhat consistent. By consistent, I don't mean that every day on the dot, 11 o'clock, no. There is still a plus minus 20 minutes here and there, that's fine. But that needs to be consistent daily. The moment your schedule is consistent, you will start noticing that sleep comes easier. Because you get sleepy more or less the same time, and then you wake up roughly at the same time.
That's true, your body clock already
Yes.
tuned in. So we have pictures here on the big screen if you want to explain to us. So you've already mentioned the consistent
Yes.
schedule. The second one says sufficient duration.
Yes.
What is the sufficient duration?
Okay, so when it comes to adults,
Yeah.
Yes.
sufficient, by sufficient I mean optimal results,
Yeah.
Okay.
7 to 9 hours. But the duration will change depending on the age group. For teenagers, they need somewhere between 8 to 10 hours.
What about for women 30-ish years old?
7 to 9.
7 to 9
Still
still.
7 to 9, yes.
Okay.
So for adult, I mean 18 to 64. 64 years old.
Okay, 18 to 64 years.
64 plus, it's 7 to 8 hours. For children, it's somewhere around 10 to 12 hours. For babies, it's somewhere around 14 to 17 hours. It's according to the National Sleep Foundation.
Wait, 14 hours, one time sleep? Oh, total.
Total.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's like, I don't know if a person can sleep, a baby can sleep for 14 hours straight.
I don't think so.
That's why, actually, sorry to cut you. That's why if you go back to the previous slide, you'll see the third sleeping pattern, which is polyphasic sleeping pattern,
So, yeah.
in which you sleep more than twice in a cycle of 24 hours. Babies, they are natural polyphasic sleepers.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Now, sufficient duration, it's quantity, right? Now, the next one is quality.
Okay. When it comes to quality, you get all the stages of sleep that we actually need to restore our body.
Okay.
So when we talk about stages, we talk about the light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. We get all this enough throughout our night sleep. And when you wake up in the morning, when you get all three nicely, yes, of course, there's still going to be some time taken to process. Like when you wake up, there's still going to be some loading time, but the loading time is not too long.
Is there anything we can do to make sure that the process goes smoothly?
Which process?
The quality process, like
Okay.
you mentioned, light
All
sleep,
stages of
the
sleep.
stages of sleep. That's right.
Number one, when you get good schedule, the quality will come because it follows a pattern as well.
So the body needs to know that you will condition yourself consistently in
Yes.
certain times so
Yes.
that it will condition the sleep stages accordingly.
Yes.
Smart body.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. It is.
Smart
very
body.
All right. And then the fourth one
The
is
fourth one is consistency. Continuity.
Continuity.
By continuity, I mean that some people are afraid to wake up in the middle of the night because according to them, that if I wake up in the middle of the night, my sleep is not of good quality because information out there says so.
Right.
But the thing is, it's normal to wake up in between sleeps. It's normal. What becomes not normal is when you have difficulties falling back to sleep.
Oh, got it.
So the waking up is a normal part, but falling back asleep is a challenge.
Difficulties falling back to sleep can be a challenge for those who have perceived that, oh, if I wake up in the middle of my sleep, means my sleep is not good. Again, it's a conditioned, learned behavior.
So we have to recondition ourselves saying
Right.
that if we have to pee at night, it is still normal.
It's
It is
normal.
okay to wake up at 12, 1, 2, or like me. For some reason, I always wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Wait, before we go on a break,
Yeah.
can I just please ask one more question? I want to
sure.
go back to the first point, which is the consistent schedule, and it relates to our body clock, right? But what if the situation is not that ideal? Like, for example, me, my body clock is is ruined.
Okay.
So how to change?
So there are ways to actually synchronize our body clock. So
Okay.
our body clock can be synced using 4 external variables.
Okay.
The first one is bright light. So when we use light first thing in the morning, it actually syncs our body clock. So it syncs for the whole 24 hours.
Okay.
Okay, that's factor number 1. Number 2 is your meal timing.
Okay.
Number 3 is your exercise timing or physical activity timing. Number 4 is exposure to temperature. So when we actually know how to manipulate or manage these variables, we can actually manage our body clocks. Let's say, for example, you wake up at 6 and by 6:30 you decide to get some sunlight into your system. So that sunlight, because it's bright, it actually sets the body clock to be 24 hours. So 6:30 you sync your body clock, 14 hours later your melatonin starts rising.
You get sleepy. So light is very important.
I think I know the problem now. I think I don't get enough sun exposure.
I think your room is too comfortable and dark.
No,
is
I don't even have curtains.
I have blinds.
I don't.
And I like it dark, so okay, that's my mistake as well.
Right.
But you know what, Coach? You're still going to be with us, and we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion, so don't go anywhere and stay tuned with us on See the Ramadan Stories here on the Tirani Show.